Dear friends, hello! How are you doing, baby? Just having some fun here. Hey, everybody. I am here today to share with you about a few things that I've learned related to the inner journey, particularly when you have trauma in your history, particularly when there is early wounding, early trauma. But let me give you a little hint. We all have trauma. Anyway, but some of us, the trauma was more significant than others. But at the same time, we all carry cultural trauma and the trauma of the violent nature of humans. Sprinkles of sweetness and love that come and caress me from presence. Oh. So I had my fair share of trauma when I was little. I experienced things that no little kid should have to experience, and I had to. And I was afraid. My nervous system was terrified. Didn't trust reality. Didn't trust in the goodness of reality for a long time, actually. And then, fortunately, my nervous system, repressed all that shit, dumped it inside, and I was unaware of it. And then, as a teenager, I was insane. I was like I had a nuclear fusion inside my heart, going. So I was doing all kinds of drugs and drinking and smoking and engaging in all kinds of self-destructive behavior and very impulsive behavior to try to manage all that intense energy that I had, that I still have. I still deal with a lot of energy. I just know how to work with it now much better, more efficiently, and I actually ride it. I'm like a surfer. I'm like a psychic surfer these days. Waves of energy come and I get on my board, and even though I've tried to surf in real life, and I can't. I gotten up a few times, man, that's hard. Surfing is hard. But psychic surfing, on the other hand, emotional surfing, on the other hand, bring it on. I'm ready. Bring me those emotional maverick waves. I'm ready to ride them. Anyway, that's my thing. But I've learned a few things about trauma, about the inner journey and having trauma. Oh yeah? What have you learned? The first thing is that there is no one method that's going to work for you. You have to find out there in all the different methodologies what's going to land, what's going to help you open, what's going to help you soften your heart and begin to open up and feel some of that goodness that's available for all of us. Two is you can't do it alone. We need help. We need others. We need the support of others that are loving, that are kind, therapists, teachers, coaches. I would say therapists if you have a lot of trauma, for sure, that are trained in trauma. I've definitely been helped. Thank you, somatic experiencing. It's a modality that was really helpful for me and really made a huge difference in my process. I actually happen to be a practitioner in that nowadays. It's lovely. It uses the body, uses ways to resource, connecting with the environment to help you research. But anyway, this talk is not about somatic experiencing. It's what was I saying? You gotta find out what works for you. You wanna get some help, connect with teachers or therapists, and I emphasize therapists that are trained in trauma. Although nowadays spiritual teachers are trained in trauma, which is wonderful. I know in Spirit Rock here in Marin County, they make their teachers study somatic experiencing. I think the first or second years of the training, which is amazing because guess what? If you go into a silent retreat and meditate for 7 days in silence, I guarantee you that if you have trauma, it's going to come to the surface and it's going to scare the wits out of you if you don't know how to navigate that. It's like you don't know how to surf and suddenly they put you in Hawaii, the middle of winter in the North Beach with those huge waves. Scary stuff. So you need help. Anyway, so that was that. What else am I saying about this? I lost my train of thought, my friends. Excuse me, sir. Could you point me to the train? The thought train, because I think I lost it. And I should get my, you know what? I'm gonna get my phone.
Look at me, I'm flying! Oh, no, wait, maybe not.
Here's my phone. Here's what I wrote. All right, no formula. There is no formula for this. With the help of others, we need others, but at the same time, it is up to us to not figure it out, that's not the right word, to find, to attune, to uncover what works for us. And here's the other thing. What works with us at one point, it's not gonna work at another point. Simple as that. My dogs are playing. So, you know, like you've learned a technique and you do it and it helps, it opens up new things and you go into new territory. Well, at some point that technique's gonna stop working. And we need to be flexible enough to be able to let it go, even though we get attached to our techniques and our methodologies, because that's what humans do, we get attached. We actually have to let him go and move into the new. And that's always scary, to move into the new. But the more comfortable we get in moving into the new, the easier it gets. Now here's the catch. When we have trauma, we hell don't want to move into the new. We want to, as soon as we find something that feels a little cozy and safe, we hold on to it and we don't let go. So softening that and letting go and releasing that, it's a challenge. I tell you that. That's been my journey.
It's mine!
But, you know, and there is a story. I like the story, the Buddha story about the raft. So you cross the raft, and then, I mean, you cross the river in a raft. And once you get to the shore, you don't carry the raft to go up the mountain. You let go of the raft. Now you probably need some sticks or something to go up the mountain, or perhaps you need a nice hat to protect yourself from the sun, some suntan, maybe some jerky, I guess, to eat. Anyway, it's just me being silly here. So anyway, so that's that. We need to be able to let go of the techniques that worked for us at some point and investigate new ones. At the same time, here's the paradox. We need to commit to something. If we're like tasting little things here, but really not deepening in one particular journey, then it also becomes this hush-push of trying things. It's like we're going to this buffet and we try all these little foods, but we don't really get the benefit of it. And that's so we gotta commit to something. Did I say that we need help from others? We do. Did I also say that that it is only up to us and only we alone can find out the truth for ourselves? I do. Paradoxes, so many paradoxes. Looking at my phone here, what else did I write? Man, it's fine. It's hard. Trauma is hard. When we have trauma, it's hard because our constrictions, we are so tight. The constrictions, the body gets so tight and so terrified, like this, almost like the nervous system, the cellular membranes are terrified and holding on tight. And the spiritual journey is about loosening and releasing and opening and softening and unwinding all those tenderness and love. But there's a lot of energy caught up in there. So it's like as we release, all this energy comes up and memories may come up and intense things may come up. And so if we don't have a sense of presence that we've developed, a sense of like a solid, grounded sense of presence that's developed, it's very hard to allow for that energy to move through us. Quite the challenge, my friends. And here's the other thing. There is this very interesting dynamic thing that happens of where we need to surrender and trust in quote unquote God. Perhaps we could say like the intelligence of our bodies, if you don't want to get too esoteric, the intelligence of our nervous system, the movement towards coherence and organization, the natural movement of coherence of organization that is inherent in all living things. We need to trust in that for the healing to happen. The more we're able to relax and trust, the kind of like the organization, the coherence happens more. But that's not easy to do because we're terrified, because we don't trust reality, because all of our sense of basic trust have been taken away from the trauma, so we're terrified. So it's a catch-22. If I relax, I'm gonna die, but only if I relax, I'm gonna be able to experience the goodness and the softness. So there can be a little trap, and so there's always this push and pull, and this fight between tightness and constriction, and then softness and release. Tightness and constriction, and softness and release. And then the one thing that I've discovered for myself is that sometimes when I get that tightness and constriction come up, I use it as fuel. I ground it, or is it me that does it? Or does it happen on its own? I don't know. Sometimes I take ownership. Sometimes it feels like it's just happening. And I have no control over the process. And I'm just like observing. Sometimes I feel I'm the one that has agency and I'm doing it. Sometimes. Anyway, what I was saying is sometimes when that energy of constriction happens and the tightness happens, instead of trying to fight it or trying to forcefully make myself soften, I actually getting it like, all right, I'm constricted. And I kind of like push, like feel that energy, because there's a lot of power. There's a lot of intense power, and it can begin to some kind of like deeper sense of strength and power can start showing up. That's not like a force thing. Power and strength, and then suddenly it opens, and then more energy moves and gets released, and then there's more here-ness, more present, more awareness, more inside myself. I love myself, I accept myself, I trust myself, and I choose to be here. Oh yeah, baby. I think that's it for today. Anyway, it's a hush-push of things about the inner journey and trauma, and I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my live videos tomorrow, but I'll see you in my edited videos next week. Bye-bye.